Homeschoolers of Maine is the premier nonprofit organization dedicated to preserving, protecting, and promoting homeschooling in the state of Maine. Our organization would like to thank you for your sacrifice and service during the 130th Maine Legislature. We appreciate your work and desire to make a better place to live for all of its citizens. Homeschoolers of Maine has been serving the Maine homeschooling community for more than 30 years. With that experience, as well as our trained and dedicated leadership team, we are well equipped to support all those who make the choices to educate their children at home. What are the benefits and results of homeschooling historically? What does that research show? What do homeschoolers bring to our community, world, and culture? Listen to what these homeschooling parents, students, and experts have to say.
Hello, my name is Dr. Zachazzoni. I'm here today with my wife, Kimberly. As a family medicine physician and a medical school professor, I've been asked to share my viewpoints on education, specifically with regard to homeschooling. Often in these discussions, the term equitable comes up. And really, equitable is an important term, but it can be used to mean what is rigidly uniform to our children, and I don't think that's the best application. We should be asking what's the best available option individually for each of our children. And homeschooling, in my opinion, provides the best available option in many regards, academically, emotionally, and socially. Academically, because we're able to have a flexible schedule to be able to meet the needs and the developmental readiness of our children and meet them where they are. But also, we're able to tap into their passions and spend time on things that are important to them.
As a certified teacher, that's one of the things I love about homeschooling, is that we are able to give a child extra time if they needed to learn an academic skill. Or on the flip side, if a child needs more academic challenge, we have the ability to be able to do that.
There's much stress and strife in our current culture, and our teens and our young children are picking up on this. Homeschooling, because it's created within the family, affords us to be able to create a loving and a nurturing environment in the overwhelming majority of the time. And this is a safe environment for our children to learn. And so it creates really an emotionally safe place for our kids, but also because it's so efficient, it allows our children to have time to be able to connect in other meaningful ways. They can pursue their passions. They can learn work-related skills that are helpful later in life. They can volunteer in their community, and they can connect in meaningful ways with their family and with their friends. It also provides the ability to teach personal responsibility, which is the bedrock of our society and so essential for the challenges that we're facing now. I'm urging you, as our legislature, please do your part to help protect, and even more so, please promote homeschooling as one of the best available options for our children's education. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Wesley Hutchins, and I'm a freshman student at UMaine Orono this year. All of my education except for college has been homeschooled, and homeschooling has had many positive impacts on my life. Firstly, it has given me the opportunity to pursue subjects and passions that really interest me, and I have had the time and flexibility to be involved in my community and engage in community service. In 2019, I was awarded the Congressional Award Gold Medal, which is awarded by the United States Congress to recognize excellence in community service, leadership development, and achievement of personal and professional goals. I have become an active member of a few professional scientific organizations, and homeschooling has allowed me to gain real hands-on experience doing the things that I love to do. I am a bird watcher, I help raise guide dogs for the visually impaired through a nonprofit organization, I maintain a large collection of insect specimens, and I am an active member of the Maine Entomological Society. I also received the Youth Incentive Award grant from the International Coleopterist Society, and received funding to conduct a study of beetles in the forest behind my house. For me, homeschooling provided a deeper educational experience and more focused extracurricular activities that I'm not sure would have been available in public school. Another benefit I've derived from homeschooling is the fact that since I could learn at my own pace, I have been able to take some more advanced courses in high school, including college-level work. Homeschooling also made me well prepared for standardized testing, and as a result, I scored several hundred points higher than the average score from my local school district on the SAT. Upon applying to college, I received significant merit scholarships for my accomplishments. Overall, I would say that homeschooling has taught me everything that a student can learn in a public school, and much, much more, because schooling at home is accommodating to a student's true passions.
Happy New Year, my friends, and I'm glad to be with you to share a few thoughts about homeschooling and regulation. The human spirit yearns to be free. That's how we were designed. And homeschooling is the essence of free learning outside of an institutional environment with no significant boundaries other than our imagination, creativity, and our love for our children, and to see them flourish and to become who they're designed to be. That's what homeschooling is really about. And every time you add a layer of regulation or complexity or burden to that, you're getting in the way of free learning, of children flourishing, and families finding their balance and supporting and nurturing children to become flourishing individuals in our society. What's the rationale for regulation anyway? For overseeing what we as parents have a right to do, to choose to do? Who's in charge here? Parents or the government? That's the essential question that you have to answer when you grapple with this question of regulating homeschooling, whether it's in Germany where they don't allow homeschooling or other countries where they try to regulate it too much. And so different states, different countries can do things differently. It's good for people to govern themselves. And so while there may be a place for some regulation as allowable, so to speak, it's not necessary. As many countries like the United Kingdom and other states here in the United States, such as Michigan or Arizona or California, which have very low requirements for homeschooling families, have demonstrated there's no need for excessive or even any significant homeschooling regulation in order to achieve good results. And the more burdens you place on families, the more you get in the way of free learning. And so homeschooling and freedom go together. And my counsel to those in public policy and in legislatures and those who are looking at regulating education is, don't regulate something that doesn't need to be regulated. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. And consider removing unnecessary burdensome regulations from your state or your country's laws so that children and families can flourish in a free environment. Happy New Year to all of you.
I'm Dr. Brian Ray of the National Home Education Research Institute. There have been dozens and dozens of studies done on homeschooling over the past 40 years, hundreds of studies. Homeschooling grew to be about 2.5 million children during the 2019-20 year, and some of us believe from data that it will grow to almost double that during the 2020-21 year. Homeschoolers come from families that are rich and poor, black, white, brown, atheist and Christian, left wing, middle of the road, and right wing. In terms of academic achievement, 78% of peer-reviewed studies show that homeschool children do better on standardized tests than those in public schools. In terms of social and emotional development, 87% of the studies show that homeschool children are doing better than those from institutional schools. Regarding adulthood and success in adulthood and college, 69% of peer-reviewed studies show that the home educated are doing better. Finally, research shows that in states where there's little or no control of homeschooling by the state, children are doing just as well as those in states where homeschooling is controlled much with a lot of regulation by the state. Thank you.
My name is Angela Hurd, and I'm an English teacher, and I'd like to talk about the loss of school funding that we've been hearing about because of homeschooling. And I really feel that that's not a concern. School budgets are built from state revenue, which is through income taxes and sales tax. Everyone pays that, and it's about 1/3 of the school budget. Also, we get money through local property taxes, which everyone pays, including homeschooling families. And that's about 2/3 of a school budget. For example, my district has a budget of 28 million, and 9 million of it comes from the state. We've seen a steady decrease in student population over the years for various reasons. People are moving for job opportunities, and people really just aren't having as many children as they used to. And even though we see a loss in student population, we are seeing a steady increase in the school budget over time. So what happens is if we lose a little bit of state funding, it's made up in the local contribution. So either way, taxpayers are paying for the public school to run. And so 5% of the state right now is homeschooling, which is a pretty small number even during this pandemic. So I don't see that it's a concern that people are homeschooling right now and that schools are losing funding. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. If you have any further questions or concerns about homeschooling in Maine, please reach out to us at homeschoolersofmaine.org.